Hi folks, Steven here. This is going to be another one of our live streams discussing today's Pokemon Go Community Day as well as some other events going on the channel. So let's see, we're going to go through a few things. I'm going to go straight to, give me a second to set up our presentation. As usual, while I'm working on that, to summarize, let's see, today was a Turtwig based, let's see, Community Day. Let's see. So I'm guessing we got some of the other starters coming through. And this one was a little bit different. It ran from 11 to 2 p.m. local time, wherever you happen to be. Which was a bit inconvenient for me, I suppose. I run a league over at Pegasus Games, a trading card game primarily league that runs pretty much every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. And so this was in the middle of that, so I didn't have the freedom to go out and about as much as I would like to, since there was a fair bit of overlap. I decided I would just show up there an hour and a half or 2 hours early and do whatever I could and try to get enough going to get myself the best. Let's see, it's Grottle, and then it's, oh gosh, I can see it, Torterra. Gosh, I don't know why it took me so long to come up with that. The best Torterra possible given the circumstances. And I had to fudge things a little bit in order to, and I played by the rules and whatnot, but I had to do certain things to get what I needed. All right, anyway. So yeah, here is the first Turtwig that I managed to come by. Basically speaking, this is actually kind of interesting because on one of the tables we have over at Pegasus Games, so it would actually look much smaller. You can see a little can of soda in the back there and a Pokemon booster pack on the left. But when we do these things, I always like to show kind of my first catch of the day, as it were. Okay, and I did manage to do some other stuff while I was doing this. I had a Golbat that I had been walking with for a while. This was actually a purified Golbat that I had gotten through the Team Rocket thing, which I'm not sure. I didn't see any stops going on. The Pegasus game itself is a Pokemon gym, so it wouldn't be part of that. But I did manage to evolve that into a Crobat and sort of get an extra Pokemon there. So that was pretty neat. There's a little bit of a side story. Okay, and then, yes, a shiny Turtwig. So I suspended in midair there a little bit, I suppose. A little bit odd. But I did manage, despite only getting about maybe 12 or 15 Turtwig today. I had a few from before, so it wasn't like I was starting from zero. I did manage to get a shiny one despite the relatively low number that I wound up with. And since I knew I wasn't going to get a ton of these, let's see, is that even actually... Yeah, it's probably okay. Just checking the music there. If someone in the chat room could let me know if they can hear it properly, that'd be great. Let's see. I didn't get a ton of these, but I still managed to. I had to sort of think about how I was going to get enough candy to. I didn't have a Grottle either, and wasn't exactly sure how I was going to work my way through all of that and manage to get a Torterra. So first of all, don't forget you can always use the pineapple berries to get extra candy as long as you catch it on the next time a Pokeball makes contact with the Pokemon as you're catching it. I did try using the silver pineapple berries, but I didn't really notice. I still only got 6 candy, the usual is 3. And it was the same results I got with the other one. So I'm not sure what the results are there. Would love to know more about that one. If you know, you can always put it in the chat or give us a comment. Let's see what else we got going here. But that was one way, and that obviously got me a lot closer. Because I would need a total of 125 candies, Turtwig candies, in order to do a full evolution from a Turtwig into a Torterra, because you do 25 for the first and 100 for the second one. But I did manage to get a shiny. Unfortunately, I didn't have great luck with stats this time around. This one, you can't transfer shiny Pokemon anyway. But this one, not particularly spectacular. Yeah, and then let's see, a couple things actually happened here I wanted to note. So first of all, I don't recall us getting any rain today. I don't know how Pokemon Go really determines the weather where you were at. But it did register as raining, even though it was cloudy today, definitely. But I don't recall us getting any actual rain. So this is over on the west side of Madison. In the background there is a place called Geeks Mania, which is that gym over there, and they had a Turtwig raid, but couldn't get an extra Turtwig that way. Level 1 raid for a starter, so... but you can obviously see the timing there. When I came to the Pegasus games, actually, there was a raid there. There was a level 4 raid for an Absol, but there were not nearly enough people there to have any legitimate shot of taking that one down. But I did kind of want to note that as a sort of an extra chance. You can look in the bottom. You can see the little radar thing that says Hoppet, and then 2 Turtwig out there. Let's see. Also, you may notice I changed my buddy Pokemon. I have Clefairy there. Still trying to complete the Kanto Pokedex as much as I can. Excuse me. All right. So here's the Turtwig I did end up evolving. It's a 2 out of 3 stars. It really, more or less, wasn't it? It's very even, as you can see there. There's a very good correlation between the 3 stats there, but that was the best one I got. Now the shiny one I had like max attack, but was very, very poor in the other ones, and rated a 0 out of 3 stars. So still keeping on. It is female, this Turtwig here, so I guess that maybe counts for something. Makes it somewhat decent, I suppose. This is the one I ended up evolving, and yeah, so I did have a bunch of rare candy, and the way those working goes, of course, you can change those to candy of any Pokemon type in the game, and so I turned, 7 of those into Turtwig candy, so I would have enough, because I did end up with over 100, but of course I lost 25 from evolving into a Torterra, and then finally, in order to evolve, I needed another 100, and I ended up with, Torterra. Boy, that is... Turtles all the way down. So yeah, this is of course based on sort of that legendary, I guess, I forget if it's Native American or what, but the world being on the back of a turtle. It might be more than one culture that has a similar legend there. I've always liked this Pokemon's design, although the grass ground combination, well, it obviously does make sense given what the Pokemon is, and those 2 types, I'm honestly kind of surprised we didn't get those together earlier. In the games, it takes 4 times damage from ice, and it's not so great against some other things. It's ground makes it immune to electricity, but grass resisted already. But the sort of the hook of all of these is always that you're going to get, if you evolve it within the time frame specified, you're going to get a special attack that you can't normally get otherwise in Pokemon Go. In this case, that is Frenzy Plant. So I always kind of enjoy these journeys. I'm not sure precisely what I like about this, but I think it's nice to have it like a real focus for a couple of hours in Pokemon Go, and this was no exception. Let's see. So next up, yes. So as I mentioned, I only had some Turtwig. I'd never gotten a Torterra or the middle form, and as a result, when I evolved that, I actually managed to reach 30 species in the Sinnoh Pokedex. So that's a nice little accomplishment there. By the way, you should check out some of the accomplishments in the game. Some of them give you clothing to work from. The type-based ones are really nice because they give you a catch bonus for that Pokemon type. So I think that's always something you should check out in there. Let's see, what else we got next up. Yes, and then after the event ended at 2, for some reason the weather completely cleared up. I don't know how frequently Pokemon Go updates the weather, but I kind of wish at that point I had some time, some freedom to go around there, but I was busy running League. You can tell there are a lot of silhouetted Pokemon in the nearby list. A lot of stuff I have not managed to catch yet. You can see Xatu, Pinsir, let's see, Finneon, let's see, Surskit. I'm not even really sure what the top left one is. It's a very kind of amorphous blob kind of there. Yeah, I still have a ways to go. Level, I believe, 26 so far, so still working on it, but I definitely enjoyed my time in that raid from with the Turtwig is still up there. It ran well after the event timeline, so not bad there. All right, and that's the end of the slideshow. So we're gonna back out, and you're gonna see me full screen again. All right, so yeah, as far as the way these went, this one was more or less what I expected, given the constraints I was under. You know, not being able to travel out too far. I did kind of pace around a little bit in the room to try and see if I could cover a little more territory that way. It doesn't keep track of your position that well when you're indoors, although the place where our gaming area at Pegasus Games is pretty, it has have some nice windows, so we're not totally without any cell phone reception. But if you have any comments on that, let's go ahead and put those in there now. Want to cover a few more things. This is going to be another one of our relatively short streams, but I do want to give some channel updates. So first off, I'm still waiting to hear back from Anne to see if next weekend we can do the Pokemon Snap music discussion. Haven't heard from her for a little bit. She kind of goes dark for a while sometimes, which is unfortunate. You may remember last month, of course, we started doing the Pokemon side games with Pokemon Pinball. And next up, we're kind of going in chronological order of release. And so Snap is sort of the next one we're doing there. I'm going to spend some time this week with the game and the music. So looking forward to that. Hopefully sometime next week and we'll get that, but I can't give you any promises for now. Aside from that, I did want to sort of go into the sort of things that happened over the last couple weeks as far as things I uploaded. First of all, last weekend I uploaded another Why It Works episode on the Extra Mile. This is the Laura Pausini song. It has actually a fairly interesting history. It was written by Pam Shane and Tina Arena with the original intention of it being something for the 2000 Olympics. And we go a little bit into that, but also why, after being transplanted into the soundtrack of the second Pokemon movie, why it fits in very well there. There are some very interesting bits and pieces of lyrics in there that kind of make it mesh in an interesting way. And, I try to use still images from the movies there. I use some stuff obviously from 2000, but also from The Power of Us, since, hey, one of the characters there has some athletic background in there, and that provided some things I needed. Now, just yesterday, or actually really I just uploaded it this morning, hopefully you had a chance to take a look at it, was the, it's the unboxing. I finally got it in. The Detective Pikachu vinyl finally came in, and it really, it was pretty good, actually. It was a little more than I expected, I guess in part because I hadn't read through everything that was in there, but really nice packaging, really nice stuff. So take a look at that if you haven't. Other than that, if you have any comments about Pokemon Go Community Day or any questions about the channel, go ahead, toss those in the comments. All right, folks, thanks.